What's up, Dragon Brood? So today we're going to do something pretty simple, and we're just going to play Mono Red. I realized after going through all the deck lists, I think this is like number 20 or something we've put up in the standard 2021 format. So tons of decks. If you haven't seen them, please go back through my video library, check out all the decks from standard 2021. We put them out for like 3 weeks now, and we've really tested a lot of different things that are still viable in the format. Discovered some interesting cards. I've been able to really work through some things, but this has been a fun exercise, so I'm kind of glad this format exists. But anyway, Mono Red, we know it's still going to be playable, still going to be available, but I hadn't really given it, put it through its paces. So I want to try a slightly different version of Mono Red, utilizing a couple different cards you don't see in a lot of the lists, but just to see if they're even viable or playable or do anything. So maybe a worse version, don't know yet, but we're going to find out. And as we get ready to do that, you know I'm going to ask you, like I always do, please like this video, because that helps us get in front of more people. Please hit the subscribe button, because that shows me how much you love and appreciate what I'm doing. And if you hit the notification bell, it lets you know every single time I have a new video up. Speaking of, if you haven't been following along, I also have some preview videos and some review videos of cards that have been previewed from Zendikar Rising, so you can check those out as well. But now that you've hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, let's go take a look at this Mono Red deck list. Alright, so starting at the top, we're going to be playing some of the obvious cards. So Fervent Champion, still one of the best one-mana things you're going to be able to play in Standard or Future Standard, most likely. Goblin Arsonist, so when this dies, you get to deal extra damage, so totally good with that. Playing some shocks, giving you some extra reach there. Robber of the Rich, because it's haste, and it does randomly have reach, which comes into play every once in a while. We're playing a few Scorching Dragonfire. I'm not sure if this is where we're going to settle, but it's what we're going to go with for now. Playing 2 Bolt Hounds. This is one of the cards I'm trying out that you don't see in a lot of these lists, mostly because it has haste. It can make your attackers bigger for a surprise turn. Some things that people don't necessarily see coming, so I'm going to see how this works out. I'm going to go with Bone Crusher Giants, a couple of Phoenix of Ash just to come over the top, because we are seeing a lot of cases where people don't have that many flyers. Tectonic Giant. This is another interesting one. I've had this in a couple of different lists, and not necessarily Mono Red lists, but other red creature lists. And it's actually ended up closing the games a couple of times against the Clover decks and whatnot, because you attack, you're dealing damage. If they decide to Brazen Borrow it, they're dealing damage, or they're killing it, and honestly you get your choice of dealing damage or playing your top 2 cards, which in this list could be pretty big when you're talking about it being a possible Torbran or Embercleave. Speaking of which, we have some Torbrans and we have some Embercleaves, so you're not going to get away from those. If we're playing Mono Red, those are the best cards in the deck. We have to play them. I would say we could probably even be playing a 4th Embercleave over maybe one of the Tectonic Giants, which is probably the correct answer. Matter of fact, I should probably go and do that, because that's probably the correct answer. I don't think there's a way you get around that. Then we're playing 4 Castle Empress, 19 Mountains, and that is the list. So the only real different cards or innovative cards you're seeing here are the Bolt Hounds, a couple of the Tectonic Giants, and then, you know, some lists are playing Phoenix of Ash, some aren't. But otherwise, this is mostly cards you expect or have seen at some point. But let's see how this holds up in the arena. Opponent goes first, and we have a bunch of expensive cards, so we can't do that. This is slightly better, so we'll keep this. Probably end up having to toss this Giant, unfortunately. We do at least have the Bone Crusher Giant that we could shoot some things. However, we are starting out what looks like it's going to be against a Clover list, so it's good to pick that up. Gives us a little bit of extra damage here. I feel like Arena's got to get warmed up on me. It's like skipping a little bit. Not sure what's up with that. Well, isn't that cute? So I guess they're going to Bone Crusher Giant one of these. It kind of makes us sad, but not a lot we can do. They have it, they have it. We're not going to not attack. So, I mean, if they use it on that, that's fine. That sort of tells us, though, their plan next turn is very likely just play a Bone Crusher Giant, which is annoying, but we can still just shoot the Giant, so... well, I say that. We might actually just be shooting an Innkeeper. Though sadly, they probably have another Giant. I am kind of wondering what we want to do here. We can fly over the giant, though, with our Phoenixes on the next couple turns, and then we get a turn with a Bolt Hound, maybe. So, let's go ahead and attack. I doubt they're going to block, but give them the opportunity to block. Alright, they're not blocking. I mean, I guess we'll just shoot this. I mean, you come back and you shoot my champion. I'm assuming that's what's happening here. Alright. No surprises. They play their giant. Seems fair. So we've got double giants. We'll go ahead and play that. Play this. I mean, we would like to pick up like a 1-mana thing to go with our Phoenix next turn. But we're not blocking. I mean, we'll just let the opponent attack. I'm not too worried about it. Yep. I mean, they could potentially Bone Crusher or something. I mean, not Bone Crusher, but Brazen Bar, which is probably what's about to happen. But we have to let it play out. I mean, I'm assuming it's what's going to happen. Bounce our Brazen Bar, or I mean our Bone Crusher, but doesn't look like it. Okay, interesting. Alright, we're going to pass. They didn't bounce anything, so that's very peculiar. I mean, we are putting ourselves at risk here, going to 8. Not sure what the opponent's doing. I think we really need to draw some blockers this turn. As much as I would like to try to attack for lethal, I don't think that is the correct plan here. Opponent's going to search for something that gain. If they search for something like Shadow Spear and put that on a thing, then we can just try to win, right? Because then we can shoot the opponent down to 9. Okay, no, they have a red cap melee. That does matter. I mean, that is a relevant card. And we only have 1 card in there. 2 cards in the yard. Forgot we had a second one die. So we can get into a situation where that matters. I have a feeling this shock is not going to matter at this stage of the game. So let's just go ahead and hit the opponent to 11. I mean to 9. From 11. Oh, now that's interesting. So the trick here is we want to attack with this. Actually, if they're going to shoot something, make them take 2 from the Bone Crusher Giants. We'd still only have 1 blocker. So if they have 2 ways to kill a creature, we're no good. And we die. But if we keep this alive, it's going to fly over the top. I mean, it will run into a Fae of Wishes, I guess. So that's not great. We'll see what the opponent wants to do here. I mean, really, if anything, I was going to say, they should wait for us to pump or do something else. That makes the most sense. We're going to go ahead. Opponent's at 7. Try to kill this. Put you at 5. I think you just kill whatever else we put out there. So I'm just going to put the Phoenix of Ash. So if they kill that, there's a chance we could get it back. Alright, opponent does that and goes to 5. I mean, I guess if they have another kill card or a bounce spell, we just lose. If they don't, we're still in it. Because it's possible they just have land in hand, and Bolt Hound's good enough. I mean, if they attack, we'll block. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a choice or we just die. So if you've got something, we're dead. Yeah, alright, GG's. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, opponent? Ooh, okay, we're going to keep it. I mean, this hand's totally playable. Just, opponent's going first, and they have Gigan. Or Gyruda, however you want to look at that. We are definitely just going to play this out here and see how this shapes up. Good news is, if they play a mana creature here, we can kill it. So that'll still buy us some time. If they don't, I mean, I guess we play Rob of the Rich and give them a target to kill. Because I'm assuming that's what's in the list. Curious Pair to make a food. Alright. Guess we do this. Can't see why not. I mean, the food is annoying if you're playing a red deck. I mean, that is 3 life that you're not going to enjoy having to punch pass. This is always tough because you kind of decide how you want to use this damage. And if they play something bigger, you'd like to be able to kill it with the Scorching Dragonfire. But truthfully here, we're better off just saving this because this goes at the opponent's face. If we have a choice. So we'll do that. Don't let them gain any life off of it. Get in there. And we'll just see what happens. Alright, Wicked Wolf. Okay, good news is... Well, that's not rude because they could tap it. Yeah. I mean, do we want to make them spin the food? I feel like the answer is yes. We just make them spin the food. So rather than spend it on the wolf, then have it come at us. Do that. So that can get us at least a guaranteed 3. Possible 5 if we want to go for it. Oh no, we just have a kill card. They must be setting that up. If so, we'll probably just play top cards off the library. We won't deal the 3 to the opponent. They're not quite low enough. If there was something at like 9-ish, then I might just hit them for 3. But that's not really where we are at the moment. But I don't know, maybe the opponent feels a little weird, right? Like, do you dedicate to trying to kill the Tectonic Giant here? Or do you want to save it for something like Torbrand? Well, I guess we'll take Embercleave. It's not the thing we wanted. We still need a land. So it doesn't do us any good here. It is not going to do us any good. So we will be losing the Embercleave. But taking the land I don't think was any better of a play here, unfortunately. And we'll just end the turn. Alright, let's see what the opponent wants to do. So they're going to attack in, hit us for 4. We are... Well, are we going to block? We block, we hit the opponent for 1. No, because even if it dies, like, we get more out of a Torbrand turn, potentially, if we can get the opponent to tap some mana here. They aren't cooperating, though, which means they're probably sitting on kill spells. So let's just come over the top and see if we can keep racing. Another kill spell? Oh, well, that's a thing. Yeah, definitely didn't see that coming. Alright, it is a card. We will have enough to get this out, so good thing we held on to this shock. Also because of cost, it's cheaper to play than the other one. Let's get that out of the way. Opponent's at 9, so we are getting to almost lethal range, not quite. Need the opponent to tap something down so we can try to sneak this Torbrand in. Alright, this might be our only realistic shot. They still might have something like Heartless Act or whatever, but is what it is. At some point, we're going to have to go for it. Curious Pair making more food. That doesn't make us happy. Okay, well, if we can get a land next turn, this little combo is pretty good with the Torbrand. That's assuming it lives, which is assuming a lot. Alright, so if we attack, this is 4. Puts the opponent at 7. We can get another 3. The opponent would be at 4. Probably not the best. So we're just going to do this. I mean, we can still take a few hits from the Wicked Wolf. So not in a big hurry here. And we still have this that has escape. You know, the opponent's checking that out as well. And we have this. So if we can get a land to go with that, getting both of those out would be pretty good. Oh, they're going to remove it. Okay, that's good. That's good. Well played. Well played. Alright, so opponent's at 8. Can we draw another Phoenix? Can we draw a burn spell? We failed to do so. Though the Phoenix itself is 2, 4, 5, 6. So it's close. It's not quite there, but it's close. Alright, well, we're going to attack. And we're going to pump it. I mean, that's the most we can do. The opponent's technically at 5 if they want to spend the mana. Hopefully, well, they're mana away from being able to, or 2 away from being able to play like Massacre Worm or something, so that's okay. Alright, this opponent goes to 3. There's still 2 more creatures they can eat. Oh no, we have 1 more they can eat. Alright. And 1 in their yards. They have access to 5 more life if they want it. So they can be at 8. If we draw a second land, and then we'll have a removal card for the Phoenix, and it's game over anyway. Alright, that's cute, but that seems bad. Why would you... Yeah, they just lost. Why would you spend your mana like that? They were much better... Yeah, it doesn't... Well, it doesn't matter. We drew this, I guess. But yeah, they were better off just saving to use the ooze and sack the food. We won the right to go first. Not a great hand to go first with, though. We need another 1 or 2 mana thing next turn. But, you know, we're going to go with it. Because why not? Come on, deck. Please provide. We'd be much appreciative. Let's do it. Hey, you did. Look at that. Sometimes you just ask friendly. Things work out. Ooh, return to nature. That's good to have. Go ahead and play a clover here. That would have been outstanding. Alright, well this will probably die here, but that's okay. Oh, they didn't have anything to kill it. Oh, man. Yep. Bolthound came through. Bolthound was worth an extra 4 damage on that turn. Yep, that was it. Alright, we're definitely going to have to keep this one. Need to draw some mana, but otherwise, this is pretty solid. Turn 1 and 2 creatures, removal to play on both drops if we need to, so we will absolutely take that. Playing against Dread. Not Dredge like the deck, just Dread like the person. Or the card. Or like Judge Dredd. But our opponent's taking their time here. Though they did pick the cool looking avatar with the little like weird half griffin, half cat thing. Guarding something. I don't know what that is. It looks like a little idol of itself, which is kind of creepy. But, you know. Alright. Let's get in there and see if they have a burn spell. They do not have a shock. Alright. That's good to know. The question is, are they playing Mono Red? Or are they playing Gruul? Or did they just get the red part of their... Oh, okay. This is a Pyreling deck. Well, Scorching Dragonfire might be important here. Not sure how I feel about this. I think, sadly, I'm just going to pass. See if we can catch our opponent and kill a Pyreling. Let's... They gain first strike, though, don't they? Yeah, they gain double strike. I was just thinking I could shoot it, then block it with the Fervent Champ, but that's like bad news. No blocks. See if they have anything. If they don't have anything. Huh. Alright, if we're going to do that, we might as well kill the unblocked one then. Or the untapped one. I mean, if they're just telling us like, hey, I got nothing, then assume the opponent's being honest and they got nothing. This is a terrible thing to race against, but might be our only shot, knowing that we have access to potentially Tectonic Giant and or Embercleave, and the opponent didn't have any instance that last turn. So that's some good news. Opponent's choosing not to attack here. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll get in with this Phoenix for 2. And I think we're going to play this with no real intention on blocking here, by the way. We're just going to try to Embercleave it up, though I think the opponent's also trying to Embercleave it up here, would be my assumption. Question is, if they do, can we kill them on the return strike? And I think it's going to be very, very close. Alright, they're not going that route. They're just going to play the Tunneler. Though I do like this little combo. Tunnelers plus Pyrelings. That's kind of cool. I don't hate it. And they're choosing not to attack. Okay. So... let's say they don't have Embercleave and they just have like a 2 damage thing, right? So they hit us for 2. Pyroling would become a +1, so that's 4. So that's 6. We would take another 5 from an axe. That's 11. 12, 13. We're at 19. And Embercleave could potentially be worse next turn because they could hit us for 6. That'd be 7, 8. 16, 17, 18, 19, so that'd be Xaxes. Though we could shoot a Tunneler. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any way we can get the opponent dead, but I don't think so. So we're just going to take our time here. We're going to get in with the Phoenix. And we're just going to save a bunch of stuff to block if necessary. So now we have 3 extra damage coming in next turn. So now we actually start talking about the opponent being at 9. This with an Embercleave can do 6. So now it starts looking like real numbers. Yeah. And now we have a 4 toughness thing, which also helps. The opponent attacking with just an axe doesn't do much. Attacking with the stuff on the ground doesn't help a lot. Though they could make the Pyroling unblockable and get in for 2, but that, or 3, but that doesn't seem very efficient. But if they do, then that means they can only block 1 thing on the ground, and that does put them in range of being lethal. So this is becoming, like, if they attack, they have to attack with more than 1 thing for efficiency's sake. Or else it doesn't make sense, because I have the Tectonic Giant. But if they don't attack with anything, that's beneficial to us. Oh, so they did. Made it unblockable. Alright, so can we find something with haste here? We did not, but that is pretty good. So this makes us 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not enough. Not enough. Real damn close, though, but not enough. Alright, so if we attack, they can block in a way that they don't die from the... Castle Ambreth. Alright, so our turn. I mean, we just have to hope they don't Embercleave here, I guess. That's where we're at. We can get the opponent low enough that I think we're mostly okay. Though this double strikes, if they make it unblockable and we get a burn spell, we die anyway, I think. It's going to get real ugly. So, yeah, let's damage the opponent. I mean, they can block it with their Torbrand, so it's not a lot we can do. I mean, we put the opponent at 3, and we just have to hope to survive a turn. This is all we can do. It's not great, but this is where we are. I mean, I think ultimately an axe is still better for these lists, but I don't hate that we're trying out the Tectonic Giant. Interesting, they didn't block it with that. I mean, they do get a 1/1 and replace it, but that seems odd. Oh, I guess because the Torbrand would have killed it, because it would have been 5 damage. Never mind. That actually does make sense. I guess I should have just attacked with everything then, huh? Well, no, because they could have blocked here, Torbrand here, block here, end up with a bunch of tokens. Yeah, we're probably just dead skis. But, you know, we gotta find out. That's all we can do. Is hope to not die. And then I gotta block this guy, right? Because this double strikes. That's worse than Torbrand potentially just hitting us for 4 or whatever. The opponent's at 3, so I mean, we knew Embercleave was possible. Not a lot we can do about that, so that's just going to get us. Yep, and that'll do it. And we knew if they drew Embercleave, we were dead, so not a bunch we could have done about it. Alright, we got the good type of mono red draw, we'll call it. So, interestingly, I think we're going to turn to, depending on what we draw, we'll turn to Robber of the Rich, and then follow up with a Robber and a Fervent Champ to kind of maximize our damage here. Ooh, and we got a Shatter the Sky from the opponent. That's nice. That's real nice. We like that. Oh, this is what we were going to be up against? Oh, no, 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 opponent. Let's get this done. We do need to draw some other spells, but in the meantime, this is more than fine. Get all the hasty boys in there. Ooh, and we got double Shark Typhoons away from them? That seems great. Embercleave, Torbrand, Shock. So many things are good here. I would like any of them. That doesn't quite cut it. I mean, assuming they have a removal spell. If they don't, then we'll see what happens. Alright, just got some lands. Opponent's just going to sack that to gain life. Makes sense. Alright, they go to 3. Can't really play this, unfortunately. And I don't want to run the Tectonic Giant out. The opponent's at 3, so there's no good doing anything else. The opponent looks like they need the land, so they didn't want to actually search there. Yep. Though this is playable, we're going to mulligan. Alright, this is better. Let's... Honestly, I'm just going to give it Embercleave here. We're going to have to draw another one. Oh, this is not a good start for us. Oh, that's even worse. Alright, come on, deck. I need some love. I also think I should trim down lands. I think I'm playing like 23 or something. I can get this down to probably 21. We don't have very many expensive spells we're worried about. And that opens up some room, especially when I put the Enax back in. Alright, that seems totally legit and reasonable. Let's see what we get from the opponent. Just a land. We need to hit things we can play. That's the goal. Come on, opponent, just block and let's move to the next turn. Save your 2 damage. There you go. Now we're kind of hoping the Robber of the Rich lives. So if they block it again, then we can shoot it and do some stuff. But just have to find out. Alright, Shield Breaker's probably just on blocking duty for this Robber of the Rich, I would imagine. This gets to be a little weird because, well, we can at least shoot the Shield Breaker. And then attack with both. Then whatever they block with, we'll shoot it with the Bone Crusher Giant. I think is going to be our plan for next turn. Barring us getting something really good off of the... Well, yeah, maybe the Robber will steal something. The thing is, I don't know what they would get that we would be that concerned with. If we could just kill a Fae of Wishes. I mean, in an odd way, if we did get a Edgewall Innkeeper from them, we'd be able to get a bonus from playing our Bone Crusher Giant. So that's kind of cute, but I don't really know if that's something worth worrying about. Wonder if the opponent's worried about attacking here. I wouldn't attack, though, if I were them. I mean, we're at 20 all, and I would definitely have the advantage here, so you don't want to do that. That is not the right answer. Alright, we do have one less card, so we draw... Ooh, we get a Brazen Borrower. That's a thing. Do we want our opponent to be able to block here? Because here's the thing, letting them go search with the Fae of Wishes is actually a little bit dangerous. But it would open the door for us to be able to have a Brazen Borrower. But I don't think they're going to kill our Robber of the Rich here, so we're going to go ahead and let them have it. we will shoot this. And then we're going to go ahead and hit it with the Bone Crusher Giant. So we can look into playing this Bone Crusher next turn. This also saves Scorching Dragonfire for something that's 3 toughness, if we feel it necessary to get rid of it later. Opponent very quickly decided to sacrifice this Fable Passage. So I don't know what's going on, but they definitely have their mind made up. Could be just a Clover plus something on this turn. It's very possible. Yep, there's a Clover. And their Bone Crusher Giant would make sense here. They're choosing not to. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know what you thought we were going to do, opponent. Alright, we'll go ahead and run this out there. Now, we will take the damage to kill their Bone Crusher Giant if they play it, by the way. We are okay with that. I mean, they're down to a couple of cards, so we're going to just have to push our damage as much as we can here. I mean, a real get for us would be another Robber of the Rich off the top. Honestly. That was not it. We'll take our 2 happily. We won't even complain about it one bit. Alright. See what we can do. Bum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Alright, they're going to use a temple so they can scry for 1. And then Play of Wishes to go search for 2 things. I'm assuming one of them is going... Like, here's the thing. Our play now really is shoot the opponent, put them to 12. Then really just hope we draw an Embercleave. Because if we put them low enough, then... Yeah, because them playing that to draw a bunch of cards next turn, that doesn't help their case. The 2 damage from the Bone Crusher Giant could be big. Maybe, though, I would say that picking up a Torbrand could also be important here. Or doing neither could be bad as well. Alright, we're going to get in. Put the opponent to 7. I mean, we still have outs. We got to find them, though. Ooh, Escape to the Wilds. Well, there's a lot of things we can draw now to get it done. I mean, even a haste thing here because we can pump. Ugh. Ugh. That was the worst. That was the worst. That was almost as bad as anything that could have happened on this turn. Drawing 3 lands in a row was not the way to go out here. Alright, so now we're going to need a Shock, an Embercleave, and those are probably our only real outs at this point. Depending on what the opponent does. But I'm assuming you're going to search for 2 lands, then play Lovestruck Beast, make your tokens. Yeah, exactly. So that's not going to be good for us. No, actually, if they don't play their Fae of Wishes, which they might not, our Phoenixes are still alive. Yep, they're doing all their Beanstalk Giant stuff. I have a feeling this ends with them playing Lovestruck Beast plus Shadow Spear. If it does, we're good. Oh, gosh. Oh, 4 lands in a row. Oh, that's so brutal. That's so brutal. I think we're just dead. Because now... Yeah, we're not even... Yeah, now they can even just play their Giants plus whatever. Yeah. We just got nothing. Ugh. So sad. Ooh, we desperately need some lands, but definitely will keep this as well. Having these against this is always good, because whatever they're playing is going to be small, and it's going to be things they can sacrifice. Oh, the opponent's mulligan twice, though. But yeah, I think for the next, I guess we'll call it, what, a week and a half that we're going to be able to play this format. I think you're definitely just going to be incentivized to even have some number of copies of the... oh, this is the cycling deck is what they're doing. Alright, well, let's draw a land then. Let's do that. That would be great. But the Ember Shield Breaker and stuff like that to be able to destroy clovers and whatnot is really kind of where we want to be. We're going to go ahead and exile this. So if we get a land, we're going to bolt down. We did, so we will. And the other thing too, by using the Scorching Dragonfire, it keeps the number of cycling cards low in the opponent's graveyard. I mean, they may end up just Zenith Flaring or something at some point anyway. Do we want to Torbran here? We may want to Tectonic Giant first, then Torbran. This is actually kind of a hard situation. Because if we Torbran and attack, they block the Bolt Hound, they take 3, go to 12. If we play the Tectonic Giant, opponent blocks, probably Bolt Hound still, goes to 14. So 2 more life, but the next turn we play Torbran. You know what? I'm just going to kill this creature. And if the opponent has no blockers, we'll be getting real close to lethal after that. Because that would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Alright, we get to go first. We definitely have to keep it. We have a pile of removal. I don't think that's going to be any good against a Yorion, unfortunately, but let's see. Come on, creature. Oh, well, it was a creature. I should have said small creature. That's what I get for not being specific. Yeah, I think we're going to get beat up here pretty badly. One's got a glass casket. Sure. Makes sense. Don't think this hand beats anything here. Definitely should have mulliganed, actually, once I saw that we were playing Yorion. But we're going to try to push through anyway and see what happens. I mean, you know, whether people want to bid or not, you do have some games that are just won and lost on the mulligan, whether we talk about it enough or not at Magic. Mulligans are important. Alright, gonna get the Tectonic Giant. We'll see if this survives. Probably doesn't. I'm assuming the opponent's just playing a ton of removal. Okay. Why not? Yep. And then we're gonna see a... I'm actually gonna get some cards because the cards in our hand are not very good. We'll take the Bolt Hound, I guess. Assuming they're going to make some tokens and gain some life? No, they're just taking some damage. Interesting. Oh, weird. Why would you not have done that and prevented some damage? That seems like a weird choice. There must be something we don't know that's happening here. Maybe they just want to prevent more this turn? It's really strange. What else would you have? Oh, people have been playing that thing that, like, destroys a tapped creature. Alright, so we can get in 3 with the Bolt Hound, 4, 5, 6 from Bolt Hound, 7, 8, 9 from Tectonic Giant. Opponent will gain a couple of life from the Omen. I guess we gotta try? I mean... not a lot we can do here. Do we take extra cards? I mean, I don't think we can, because if their plan is just to play Yorion next turn, we can kill a Yorion. And if we get another land, we can even kill an extra blocker to keep the Bolt Hound alive. So we kind of have to go this route. I mean, the opponent's going to go back up in life, but really not much we can do about it. Cycling to neutralize makes sense. Alright, now an interesting thing will be, though, do they want to take a Bolt Hound and give us one of the other creatures? Which I think it's possible they just want to give us... Oh, they didn't. Interesting. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. And then we're going to attack with both of these. Deal 3 to the opponent. Let them block how they see fit. We do not want our Bolt Hound to die. Alright, and then we'll just hope they don't get swept, because they probably are, but... Oh, another Yorion. Oh, that was hurtful. Alright, well the good news is, we can still find, like, a shock and some... Well, no, they're going to go to 7. So no, that's not going to help us. We need more than that. We need more than that. We need to attack and draw an Embercleave here. Those are probably our only outs. Because I don't think there's anything else we could do. If we get an Embercleave, that would help. Alright, yeah, let's do it. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I think that's the only way we can win. Just double thinking about this before I commit to it. Because the opponent only has 2 cards. The problem is, though, if we miss, at the very least it needs to be a burn spell so we can kill Yorion. Man, 4 outs, huh? Ugh, this is gross. This is gross. So much pressure. And just shooting the opponent only puts them down to 4, so that doesn't do it. Alright, we're going to do it. See if we can hit an Embercleave. And we're not even sure Embercleave's good, but... Here's hoping. It was not. It was a shock. I mean, I guess the good news is we do get to kill our Yorion, so... We can't take it as all bad. Why are they not doubling up a Bolt Hound? I guess because we have this, but like... I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's not the worst thing. And we'll just hold on to the shock, I guess. Alright. In the turn. Opponent's gonna scry, set up their draw here. I mean, might be looking for another Yorion. But, not really. That doesn't do much for him. Other than just give him another flyer. Big blocker. Banishing Light. Okay. That's fair. The other thing, too, is if we had shield breakers, we could get rid of these. And that would be big. Alright, come on, hasty thing. Well, you're not hasty, but you're not bad either. Alright, this is lethal on its own, and we do have a way to remove a blocker. So that's a thing. Oh, I needed to use that to kill the token. I forgot. I thought it was a live card. I only had it till the turn. Oh, that's such a mistake. Because that would have been lethal this turn. Oh, well, they found a Banishing Light. I guess I don't have to feel too bad. It prevents future damage, though. Alright, fair. Alright, opponent's at 5, scrying a card. It's getting an intense finish here. They did leave a card on top, whatever that thing was. All right, we're going to go ahead and use this to get rid of that. Come on, something good. You're about as good as we could hope for, I guess. Another Banishing Light? No, it's a token maker, but that is okay. We are all right with this exchange. We will put the opponent down to 2. Because the token blocking doesn't really harm much of anything. So we're all right with that. Did they get anything? Glass Casket doesn't do it. All right. Well, you know, other than the, I guess we'll say the game where we didn't draw land really, everything else kind of works pretty well. I actually, while we were playing, I was thinking about taking out the Tectonic Giants, but I actually think I'm going to leave them in this list. I think the final list, though, will have a few Enacts in there and maybe a couple of Shield Breakers, which means we'll have to trim a couple of land, maybe cut the Bolt Hounds, though the Bolt Hounds did come in big in a couple of games. Regardless, I think what we're seeing is Mono Red still has a lot of quality parts. And we've seen some cards already in Zendikar that are going to lend itself to this deck very well. So I don't think this is going to be a deck that's going to struggle moving forward. I think there's going to be plenty of parts to be played. I think there's going to be plenty of creatures, plenty of damage. And even now, we're just talking now, and I'm like, oh, look at all these ideas that we have room to squeeze a card here or there. So lots of opportunities still. So if you're a fan of Mono Red, thumbs up. Like, you still have plenty of things you can play and plenty of stuff that's still very competitive. But if you haven't, please remember to like this video to help us get in front of more people. Hit the subscribe button just to let me know how much you love me, and then hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I have a video up. And remember, you can always find the deck list, the links to our Discord, to Twitter, and to our Twitch, just everything else down in the description below. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.